Welcome back to another live, you awesome human beings. It's James here as always. And I just want to say one thing straight up. Everyone who's told you that it's all downhill once you hit 30, they're fucking lying. They have no idea what they're talking about. Men peak as they get older. If you look at the age of the average millionaire, they're in their 60s. If you look at the age of the average president, they're also in their 60s. The guys who are the most powerful people in the world, the CEOs of the world, the guys who are really moving and shaking, they're old, right? They're not 30 or 20 or anything like that. They're well and truly up. Men get better as they age. Yes, women have a biological clock, right? Women really, a lot of people suggest that they peak at 25. I'm not going to comment on that. I'm an expert in men, not in women. But women definitely, it gets a little bit tougher for them. But men get better and better and better. And we see so often that men get sold this stupid lie that it's all downhill when you hit 30. Oh, your testosterone plummets, your cortisol goes up, your stress goes up, you get a mortgage, kids, everything. Oh, there goes your life. If I had $1 for every single time somebody said, oh, you're married now, there's your life gone. Oh, you got a kid on the way, there's your life gone. You got a house, you got a dog, all this sort of stuff. It's a load of shit. For men, we should get better with age. We should not get worse. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why most people believe that men get worse with age, because they have no idea how to look after their body or their mind or any of this stuff, just to be perfectly straight. Now, I'm not going to say that I've mastered the whole life and universe, but I know a little bit about one area of life, and that's how to make men fucking dominate it. I'm approaching 30 right now. And I can tell you right now, I feel 10 times better than when I was 18. When I was 18, yeah, I was training 4 hours a day, 3-4 hours a day in the gym. I felt really good. I didn't have to warm up, stretch, or do any of this sort of stuff. Like, I felt great when I was 18. And by the time I was 20, I was a pro bodybuilder. And by the time I was 21, I had a medical science degree. And if I look at all that stuff now and I compare to where I am right now, I'm outputting over triple the amount of effort that I was back then. And I'm doing it easier. I am sleeping better. I'm recovering better. Every single bit of my life is better. I have better relationships. I have better sex. I have a better connection with my wife than what I did with any girl back then. I have a better connection with my friends. I have way better friends than I've ever had in my whole entire life. I have absolutely everything going perfectly. I'm still lean. I'm leaner than what I was when I was 18. I'm bigger than what I was. I'm stronger than what I was. I'm more flexible than what I was. Men don't have to go backwards. We don't. We simply do not have to go backwards. And I want to dispel this myth that as we get older, we have to get worse, right? Because you can get old without aging. Two very, very different things. Being old, that's a part of life. We're going to go through and we're going to get some more wrinkles, and we're going to go through and add extra, digits onto our the date of birth's going to get further and further away. But it doesn't mean we have to age. We don't have to go backwards physically. And I'll tell you why most men cannot sustain and maintain a high level of performance in their health, in their wealth, and in their relationships as they get older. It's because they don't look after the nervous system. Every single time it comes back to this. You see, the reason why a lot of people think that everything goes to shit after 30 is we don't look after our nervous system, ever. If we do not look after our nervous system, yes, you will fucking age terribly. You will age terribly overnight. I've seen people, and this isn't to slight them, but I've seen people going through really, really tough times, and they age overnight. They're really stressed. Their businesses are going under. They got the banks clawing at their back. They're going through divorce. They're losing partners, losing friends to things like cancer and difficult things like that. And every time, whenever their stress goes up, every time their nervous system isn't looked after, they age terribly, absolutely terribly. And this is all totally preventable. We can get better and better and better. I'll give you another example. Tom Brady. Who's ever heard of Tom Brady? Arguably one of the greatest NFL players to ever play. He's just retired at 45, winning the most ever Super Bowls. That's like the NFL's version of like the grand final, winning the most of those that's ever been. The dude is a phenomenal athlete. LeBron James is in his late 30s, and he's still the best player in the NBA. We have all these examples of guys who are going beyond 30 and are peaking and are in their prime and are better than ever. Men get better with age. get better with age. Right? Stefano said, I agree, mate. I'm a believer men come into their prime from 30 onwards. We get better and better and better as long as we look after our nervous system. See, the thing is with the nervous system is it's a really, really, really fickle bastard. If we do not look after the nervous system, things go to shit. Now, by the way, for those of you who don't know what I mean when I'm talking about the nervous system, with the nervous system, I'm referring to something called the autonomic nervous system. This is a portion of our brain with all the nerves throughout our body, which interacts with every single component. It senses fear, it senses stress, it creates fear. It has a major role in every single stress response throughout our body, right? Every single stress response. So that be aging, that be our digestion, that be our hormones, that be our immune system, fat gain, muscle loss, every single thing this nervous system is related to. Okay. So how can we actually fix it? We need to modulate our stress. We need to control our stress. Because as we get older, what happens? We start accumulating more stress. We go up in work, we get more employees, or we ascend into managing teams. We get a mortgage, and we've got bills to pay. There's always this financial stress getting in the back of our head. You look at the average price of a house now in Australia, it's fucked, isn't it? It's ridiculous. It's like 10 years of somebody's wage or more. It's an insane amount, how much the average price of a house is. It's ridiculous. And that stress, it builds up and builds up if we don't manage it. We've got partners. We go through marriage, and marriage is not an easy thing over the years. You have highs, you have lows, and then throw kids into the mix, it gets really difficult too. And all of a sudden, you've got all these pressures, all these commitments, all these things piling on top of each other, and there's no way to let that stress out. If we don't have a way to let that stress out, it gets us every single time. And that's why you see so many blokes in their 30s and 40s looking old and haggard. Their bodies are beat up. Their dicks don't work anymore. They can't think clearly. They don't have their confidence. They don't have their charisma. They don't have their mojo. They've lost it totally. Their testosterone's in the gutter. Every single thing gets more and more and more difficult for them. So how do we fix it? The nervous system. We need to manage our nervous system, as with everything. And we need to make sure we're following the hierarchy of health. You know what? For everyone who doesn't know what the hierarchy of health is, I want you to comment down below. Comment hierarchy. Radio? I'm going to put it up there for you. So comment hierarchy and I'll hook you up. I will give you the information that you need in order to fucking dominate. Okay. This is what you need to know. You need to know the hierarchy of health. Okay. That's what you need. And I'll shoot it across to you if you haven't already had access to it. The hierarchy of health explains exactly how this all happens. Exactly why, as our nervous system jacks up, our digestion gets worse, our testosterone goes down, our cortisol gets up, we start getting bloated, we start getting lethargic, we start getting sick more often, we start feeling older, well, we start getting fat, we start losing muscle, and we just feel like we're on the decline. Okay. So if you want access to it, just be like George and make sure that you comment hierarchy below and I'll hook you up. Okay. Now, guys, if you have any questions at all, ask them away. I'm going to jump on here. I'll see a couple of them come up on this screen. I'll have a couple up on this screen as well. Okay. But if you want access to that, let us know, because there's no reason you have to get older. I've got plenty of dudes who are in their 30s and their 40s who are crushing it. Just straight off the top of my head, Marcus Norton, and like the dude is a fucking savage. He runs a business called Nortec, right? Nortec Developments, with another bloke called Sam Perkins. Awesome dudes, incredible human beings. And these guys are getting better and better and better. They're both fucking shredded and jacked. Marcus in particular, the dude's an animal, absolute animal, shredded, jacked. He's got over 100 employees now, over 100 employees. Got a beautiful missus. He's stepped out to a couple of kids. He's got it all going on, and he is getting better and better and better as he gets older. Like nothing's stopping him. Another guy, I was just talking to another fella, Nashi, today. This dude is absolutely unfucking stoppable. Every single year for him is better than the last. And he's just onwards and upwards. We don't need to go and buy into this bullshit that's been jammed down our throats that you're going to get old. We just simply do not need it. It's an absolute load of shit. And I can tell you right now, I am categorically better every single year. I see we've got Mick online as well. Mick, listen, shout out to Mick. Mick's a fucking legend. Mick came and started working with us, and Mick is a fucking totally different human. Mick, I want you to tell everybody, if you could write in the comment section, how have you changed? Like in the last 6 months since working with us, right? How have you changed, and how much younger do you feel since working with us? I'd love to see like your opinion on this and how different you feel, because when we buy into this bullshit of saying, yeah, I'm gonna get old. It's okay that I'm getting fat. I'm over 30 now. It's okay. I'm feeling run down. I'm over 30 now. It's okay that I don't have sex like I used to. I'm over 30 now. And we start justifying all this shit. It's just a slope all the way down. Whereas when we say, fuck that, I'm going to get better every single year of my life. I'm going to be relentless and I'm going to be uncommon. That's when we crush life. It's fucked up. Do you know what is common about men? What's common about men is that most men are overweight or obese, and a lot of them are okay with it. Most men get divorced, and a lot of them are okay with it. Most men are unhappy in their relationships. Most men are unhappy in their jobs and are disengaged in the workplace. Most men feel like they're under financial stress. Now, I don't want to badger anybody who's going through this, but I want to say, fuck that. Who wants to live like that when you have the choice to be different? You have the choice to be uncommon. Because really, right now, you got these two paths. You can choose to go the common path, and that's just to accept all this shit, to accept being overweight and obese, to accept getting anxiety, depression, to accept going through and being unhappy in your marriage, not being able to communicate, not being able to get along with your kids the way that you want to. It's okay you can just accept that, and you can do that, and a lot of guys do. But then there's a select few other ones who are uncommon, who are different. I'm sure as shit going to work my ass off to be one of these guys. This is what I want. There's this other bunch of guys who are like a lot of the dudes who we work with, like Marcus, like Adam, like Mick, who don't want to be common, who don't want to fall down this normal pathway, who want to be different and want to fucking dominate life in every single way. And here's the thing, you can. Every single man can do this. There is not one exception to the rule. There is nothing genetically superior about myself or about Marcus or about anyone else who's crushing life. There is nothing that's significantly better. All that's different between guys who are crushing life and who are uncommon compared to guys who are common is the guys who are uncommon, they refuse to be normal. They don't want to be like that. They're not going to sit that way. And it all starts with the nervous system every single time. So if you want to be uncommon, if you don't want to be normal, if you don't want to be overweight or obese, you don't want to have anxiety or depression, you don't want to have marriages that don't work, if you don't want to have poor communication with your missus or your partner or your kids, if you don't want to settle for a job which you fucking hate, if you don't want to settle for running a business where you're not happy and when you're not thriving, if you don't want to settle for falling short of anything other than your absolute total potential, if you want to make sure that you fucking dominate in every single area of your life on your terms, then be uncommon. Look after your nervous system. You'll get old, but don't age. Make it so that you are doing every single thing to dominate. If you want a hand with doing this, just comment hierarchy below and I'll hook you up and I'll give you the information to do it because I'm sure as shit going there. I feel better now than what I did 10 years ago in every single way, every single day, period. Now, on that note, guys, I'm going to jump on off. If you need help with this, comment hierarchy below in there, just like Chris has done. Who have we got in here? Just like Chris, Christopher, Stefano, Ed, David, George, just like all of these guys have done. Comment hierarchy and be uncommon. Fuck being normal. Normal sucks. Let's be uncommon. Let's fucking crush life. Thank you for your time, guys. It's been a real pleasure to have you all on. I really, really appreciate you all being here. There's something super cool about me having the privilege of talking to you because it's just so fucking dope being around so many guys who want to crush life. We are so privileged here at JCF to be around a bunch of dudes. You should see in our clients group, every single day I keep seeing wins on wins on wins on wins. And I want to say that I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Fuck being common. Let's be uncommon. Comment hierarchy if you want any help with that, and I'll make sure that you dominate. I'll speak to you soon, guys.